Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the most overpowered Lune build in Act 3 of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We can make use of spells like Typhoon, which is able to buff up our entire party with specific Pictos I'll be covering in this video. Also, Elemental Trick, Elemental Genesis, hard to go wrong with that, as well as the Lightning Dance, which is a very powerful ability if we get our crit chance up high, which we can. We also are great at applying statuses like Burn and Mark to enemies and regaining our action points. Now, part of this is about getting the right colored stains on our weapon here. So the Troubadour, there's two different weapons that can give you a free aim, different colored stain here. And you can see we now got ourselves the ability to cast Elemental Genesis, is one of the most powerful skills that Lune has. So typically we want to be able to go for the free aim attacks until we're able to get this, and you see it there. It's a very powerful skill in itself, but we can also use some different buffs on our team, which I'll show off in this video. With Lune, we really want to get our critical rate up to at least 75%. We want to apply burns on the enemy and then use a specific Picto that will increase that by 25% so we can get that 100% crit rate on our attacks. In addition to this, we do want to get our attack power obviously up as high as possible. The Troubadour and Trebuchet weapons are pretty solid for that. So with Trebuchet, it's higher scaling on luck, whereas Troubadour will give you more damage, but its scaling is on vitality and defense. I prefer using this one because it'll do an initial attack to a random target whenever you do a free aim shot, and also increase the free aim damage. You're going to be doing that quite a bit. The thing is though, with the right Pictos and Luminas, we can get that damage going really high. So I'm using the Energizing Shots Picto here. This is a core principle of this because 1 in 5 shots will regenerate yourself a free aim shot basically. So that's going to continue to allow you to keep shooting to try and get your Elemental Genesis off. We also got the Rush on Powerful, so we apply statuses to our teammates with our Typhoon ability, and also Energy Master so that she can continually keep spamming abilities. And for the Luminas here, the best ones that I would recommend going with, anything that's going to boost up your free aim shot. So the accelerating shots can give you Rush on a free aim shot at Death's Door if we get down to low health points, which happens especially in some boss fights that we'll be going against. This will increase your damage by 50%, augmented aim, just free aim damage. Increase break damage with the free aim shots. This is great for buffing up your team as well, as they can also apply the stun. Breaking Burn, increase break damage on burning enemies, which will be burning as many targets as possible. Increase break damage, increase damage on burning targets. Burn affinity is huge. We do need that because we're the ones going to set up burn and keep it up on the enemy. Burning Break will apply burn on a break, and then also 20% chance to apply burn on free aim shots. Charging Stun. This is actually really useful because if you stun a target, you can keep hitting them a bunch of times and fill your gradient charge up. If you have Minoko, he can use a 3 gradient charge attack to instantly break the boss. So this works very well if you have Minoko on your team. Charging Mark gives you a 20% gradient charge on a Mark target once per turn. Very useful. Alongside this one, which gives you 20% on a critical hit. Cheater, it's just really useful to use here, and you should get it as soon as possible in Act 3. Critical Break will increase your critical hit damage on critical hits for break, so you're more likely to break the target, and this will give you an increased critical chance on burning targets. That's why I said we want to get a crit rate up to at least 75. Energizing Break will give you +3 action points on breaking your target. Mark removes 1 more hit to be removed. This is an essential one because we're also setting a Mark for Myel to use because she can hit hard with Stendhal as well. Dodger gives you an action point +1 AP on burn once per turn. This is useful again because we're going to apply burn and do a free aim shots. Energizing Heal. Healing an ally will also give 2 AP. Typhoon will give 2 AP to our team every single turn. That's really good. Energizing Rush will give 2 AP on applying Rush. More AP on Battle Start. We just want to be able to spam our shots, so getting that up to the maximum amount. Energizing Shots, so a 20% chance of getting a free aim, or an action point on free aim shots. That's one of the most useful ones here. We also got +1 AP on turn start, doubling your AP generation. And Exposing Break will apply Defenseless on break, which we want to break with Lune if you don't have Minoko breaking with his gradient charge. Full Strength gives you more damage on full health. With Typhoon, you'll be at full health often. Breaking a target doubles the burn amount is actually pretty underrated. With only 5 Lumina points, very useful to have. First Strike, I just like having Lune go first to set up your team's buffs. Glass Cannon will do more damage, but you take more damage. Healing Boon will give 25 or 15% healing on applying a buff, and we buff a lot. Healing Share will give you health back on applying heals to others, which again, we do that a lot. Marking Shots will give you a free aim shot. You need that one on pretty much everyone. Longer Burn, it just, enough said, more burns the better. Immaculate increases damage until a hit's received, which you can do some pretty great damage because we're going first. Painted Power, you need that. Healing an ally heals applies powerful for 1 turn. This is where it gets crazy because Typhoon will actually apply on this here, as well as the protecting heal, which will give the target shell as well, and we apply rush with one of our other Pictos. I also have the rewarding marks, so get an action point on hitting a marked target, and we're going to mark them often with our free aim shots. Stay marked will give a 50% chance to reapply it. Weakness gain, 1 action point on hitting an enemy's weakness. Teamwork, increased damage while all team members are alive, super useful. And stun boost, increased damage on stun targets. So for Luminas, that's some of the best. You can remove ones like the longer burn if you have less action points, and some of the damage ones too. You want to have everything boosted up for when you do Typhoon. This uses 8 action points on turn start, deals high ice damage to all enemies, and heals all allies. So you're dealing damage with this attack, which can be annoying to it'll remove marked, but the benefits are you apply heal on all your teammates, which gives rush, shield, and powerful. So our team is going to be a lot stronger because of that. It can also consume blue or green charge to increase the duration as well. If you have 2 of them, it's not a bad use. I also, having elemental trick with 100% crit rate, once you set burn up, you can use elemental trick into elemental genesis. Every single turn you'll continually keep dealing damage, with elemental genesis being very strong. And another really useful skill is lightning dance. High single target lightning attack, 6 hits, critical hits will do another hit. So yeah, with a high crit rate, you can just continually keep dealing damage with this, which is really nice. And if you have a red, blue, and green, but no, let's say you didn't have a yellow for elemental genesis, you can use this and get a bunch of damage, and it'll give you a light charge there. And if you need to break, we got Mayhem, which will break if 4 stains are consumed, and thermal transfer. This will give you action points if the target's burning. So I think those work best. Hell also is a nice skill to have. It does use 9 action points, however. But I think with this mix here, you got stuff at the high action point cost and the low action point cost. Any of the weapons with a dark stain, I've run the numbers, they aren't as good. The 50% damage increase is nice, but you can't use elemental genesis because the dark stain doesn't count for any of those. And consuming dark stains to be able to get that dark stain is not that easy, in all honesty. It kind of makes the RNG even worse. So I think that the best ones, Ellerim has some interesting ones because you can do a base attack with 4 extra attacks and get 4 green charges here, and then you can consume them and get shields on yourself and buffer up around shields. So Ellerim's actually a pretty underrated one, but I think that the best is probably Troubadour here. Increased free aim damage, it scales on vitality and defense, and then the free aim shots will hit another target and give you those random stains. This is extremely useful to have and use to be able to get elemental genesis going off. And our stat spread's going to look like this: 99 vitality, 93 might, with 6 points on luck so that we get it up to that 75% critical hit rate, and then S scaling 99 defense. So you want to max that one out first. So this gives us a pretty good stat spread. We got a good attack power. We're just below Verso, but we're slightly higher than Mael, who unfortunately does still out damage us, but we're still pretty strong. And what this will look like in terms of actual combat. When Lune goes first, there's a few things we can do. We want to apply burn to all the enemies here, so that can be one of the first things that we shoot for. And this will just give us that extra damage off, and also applying mark on enemies too. So if we can set up mark for our other teammates, that's kind of ideal. And just continue. We got a burn off there, which is perfect. And we want to get those 4 different colored charges there. Now the thing is, we got basically we need 4 action points to be able to cast that. So as long as we have that 4, we can continue keep spamming it. But as soon as we hit 3, we're going to use elemental trick. So if we can't get that off on the next few shots, which we continually keep gaining action points, making this, you can keep shooting this. Like you can see, we're continually gaining action points and losing them. That's the thing with this build, is it actually goes pretty crazy. Now we have 3, so we have to use our elemental trick here, which whenever we do this, we're going to get the correct action points or color stains to be able to do the elemental genesis on our next turn. We unfortunately want action point short. You do need another action point increase there, but we can also just use Mayhem with this here, because this will break on a target that has a full break bar, which this is going to break this target. So boom, we can unleash that there. It does a lot of damage, and it's going to break the target. After dodging all those attacks, it's our turn again now with 9 action points. So again, we can start the slot roulette here and try to get the right colors. Just being mindful of our action points if they do dip a little bit low. We unfortunately weren't able to get that, so we'll just go with the... You could go with a Mayhem here if the target's close to being broke, but elemental trick, and just go with that. Also with CL here, you can use the Fortune's Fury here to be able to double up her damage. So we can apply that on ourselves, and if she has the cheater Picto again, she gets to go once more. You can also do some free aim shots with her to try to get marked off. And then we can apply intervention here, which is going to make Lune go again on right away here and get 4 action points so that she can go in. She got max stacks to be able to do your elemental genesis, again being a very strong ability. Alternatively, you can also use lightning dance if you wanted to, so I'll just show you what that ends up looking like, because yeah, you got a lot of extra attacks with that. It can wipe out enemies really quickly, and the damage is a little bit higher with lightning dance. So yeah, so that's the most OP Lune build in Clair Obscur Expedition 33 Act 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I hope you have a great day. We'll catch y'all in the next one.